You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Foreclosure consultant Sandy Jolly is suing her former client, Christine Fouché, for payment of a real estate deal.
Order. All rise. It's case number 3 on the calendar in the matter of Jolly versus Fouché.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Fouché, I'm going to start with you. Your father passed away leaving a house.
Correct, yes.
When did he pass away?
May 11th, 2012.
And when he passed away, who moved into the house?
I lived in the house. I inherited the house.
And was there a mortgage on the house when you inherited it?
No, there was no mortgage on the house.
Just a sec. There was no mortgage when you inherited it?
Right.
Did you subsequently take out a mortgage on the house?
No.
But there were taxes on the house?
Yes.
Did you pay the taxes?
Yes.
Well, then why was the house being foreclosed? They don't foreclose on the house if everything is paid up.
No. After my dad passed away, Your Honor, we were made aware about a month after that my dad had a reverse mortgage from 2004.
Okay, so they
passed away, we found that out.
A month after. He passed away in 2012. We're now in 2019.
Exactly.
So you were living there?
Yes.
And did you make attempts to pay off this reverse mortgage?
Yes, I hired an attorney.
Well, hiring an attorney isn't paying off the mortgage.
Well, we needed proof that there was really a loan.
And did you get proof that there was a loan?
We just found the proof last summer of July of 2018.
Yeah, it doesn't take 4 years to find out whether there's a reverse mortgage on the house. And you were living in the house and not paying any mortgage from 2012 to 2018. That's 6 years.
I paid taxes and I paid attorney fees and...
I don't care about attorney's fees. I'm talking about mortgage.
Okay, well, the reason why we didn't pay anything is because we didn't... In fact, the bank, we went back and forth with the bank with its Financial Freedom. It was a subsidiary of Lehman Brothers, who was a Bernie Madoff, was a scam. And so my dad had Parkinson's, so there was a lot that went on with my father where he was sick. He was 85 when this loan was taken out. And he had 3 caregivers, so he didn't know the full, effects of what happened. So we had to work through that. And finally, last summer, July of 2018, I negotiated with the bank a short sale to sell to my daughter.
Great. The bank, the lender.
The lender.
So your father was foreclosing on the house, went to Miss Jolly to help stop the foreclosure because what you wanted to do was sell the house to your daughter. You reached out to her. She didn't reach out to you.
No, I met Miss Jolly 2 years ago.
I don't care. You reached out to her.
Yeah.
And you hired her to stop a foreclosure on the house.
No, this is what happened. I hired her to be a negotiator with the bank, but she wasn't a licensed negotiator and bonded. She's a reverse mortgage counselor. She's not a negotiator, so she swindled money out of me. She's a crook. I gave her $3,000.
You hired her to stop the foreclosure. That's what you said in your answer. Just a second. Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what you said in your answer.
When I met
No. Don't speak.
Well,
don't speak.
Okay.
I'm going to read. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay.
In January of 2019, this is your handwriting, your statement.
Right.
I hired Sandy to help me with the sale of the house. She told me she was an expert on this matter. She also told me that she had direct contact with the president of my dad's financial lender to stop the foreclosure, which she did. So I paid her $2,000. That's what you wrote.
Yeah,
That's what you wrote.
I paid her.
No. Listen to everything that you said. You said, I hired Miss Jolly. You said she told me she was an expert.
Exactly.
She also told me she had direct contact with the president of my dad's financial lender to stop the foreclosure, which she did. So I paid her $2,000. You may have your own story to tell me, but when I say to you, you hired Miss Jolly to stop a foreclosure, that's the truth. Put that down.
Okay.
That's the
Yes,
truth.
Your Honor.
You hired well, that's what you say, unless you're calling yourself a liar.
No, I'm not calling myself a liar. And
So you hired Miss Jolly to
Yes.
stop the foreclosure, which, according to you, she did. So I paid her $2,000. That's what you said in your answer.
Exactly. I did pay her $2,000 at first. And then I was told, I called the Department of Real Estate, and they told me not to pay her another dime. They said that she's not bonded through the state of California.
I told you not to tell me what anybody told you. That's hearsay. All I'm asking you is, you lived in a house from 2012 to 2019 and paid no mortgage. You paid a lot of money to lawyers, but you didn't pay any mortgage, and your father had taken money from this lender either to live on, or to give you, or to give your sister, or to give his caregivers, whatever he did. He took out a reverse mortgage. And what amount did he take out?
It had accrued to, and it was over $400,000.
How much did he take out?
$203,000.
That's a lot of money. And he took that out in 2004.
Exactly.
And he lived there until 2012. So that's pretty good. That's what a reverse mortgage is supposed to be. If you take it out, if you need cash for yourself, you're 85 years old, you have caregivers, you have other people. He needed money, he lived on it. And the plan was that when he was no longer here, the house would be sold and the lender would get their money back.
Well, that's not
Sure, just a second.
Okay.
How much did you pay the lender back?
$348,000.
Good. So you settled with them and discounted it to $348 from $400,000.
Well, they knew that the loan was only for $203,000.
They're not in the business of giving your father money for a period of 15 years. 15 years has interest in it. 15 years has interest in it. They gave him $203, but he doesn't pay him back 20 years later, $203.
Yeah, I mean, no, not yes, but what I'm saying, no, Judge Judy, what I think is this.
I don't care what you think.
Well, I
Listen
know,
to me. I go on somebody else. I haven't gotten to her yet, but the answers you're giving me are slippery. I said to you, you hired Miss Jolly to stop a foreclosure on the house, which is what you say, and she did, and you paid her, according to you, in the first paragraph, $2,000. You say subsequently you paid her additional money, another $1,000.
No.
So I am correct when I say you hired Miss Jolly to stop the foreclosure on your father's house because you wanted it for your daughter, and you paid her money. The answer to that is yes. Not no, I hired her just to negotiate. The answer is yes, you hired her to stop a foreclosure, which she did, and, according to you, and for something else. What else did you hire her to do?
I hired initially Miss Jolly because I was referred to her.
I'm not asking you the why. I said, what did you hire her for?
Well,
I hired my dentist to clean my teeth. I hired my proctologist to give me a proctology.
I'm just trying to tell you what you're asking me.
I want you to answer my question. What did you hire her to do?
I hired her to negotiate with Financial Freedom /C-Link.
To what end?
Well, to determine
was she supposed to pull your teeth or clean your teeth?
She's supposed to do both.
To what end?
She's supposed to do both.
Good. What was she supposed to do?
She was supposed to negotiate a deal and not overcharge me.
No. Okay.
I was overcharged.
We're so slippery because you're sort of figuring the whole thing out.
No, it's the truth.
No, I didn't ask you whether you think she overcharged you. I asked you what you hired her to do, and you refused to give me an answer.
I hired her to negotiate a short sale.
And you said she had to do two things in order to do that. What two things did she have to do in order to negotiate a short sale?
She would call the bank.
And
ask the bank to stop the sale.
To stop the foreclosure.
To stop the sale and to negotiate a price.
That's what you asked her to do.
Right.
To stop the foreclosure and to negotiate a price.
Well, we already had a price.
Well, then what did you need her for if you already had a price?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We already had a short sale agreement with the bank. The bank, I believe that Miss Jolly was in cahoots with the bank.
I don't care what you believe.
Well, I paid my money, so I have to believe that. It was my money.
Now I'm done with her. I've given her the benefit of every doubt, and now I'm done with her.
It's the truth.
Now,
I gave her money.
Now I don't want to hear from you.
Well, she's a crook.
Now I don't want to hear from you.
Okay.
I don't know who's the crook. Person who lives rent-free from 2012 until 2019 and doesn't pay back a mortgage that you know exists. So I'm not exactly sure who's the crook.
I need it.
Now let's go. Now I'm done with you.
Judge Judy continued.
Either you're full of baloney or you're a fool.
I'm a fool.
Then she's not a fool. You're a fool.
He's a scammer. I got scammed.
If you got scammed because you're a fool.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Foreclosure consultant Sandy Jolly says former client Christine Fouché owes for her services in stopping a foreclosure auction. Christine is countersuing for harassment.
When she hired you, did she sign a contract?
Yes, she did.
I'd like to see it.
I didn't sign it.
Don't explain it. I want to
She's
see
lying.
it.
I didn't sign a contract. It was verbal. She's lying. I did not sign no contract.
Bird, would you have a conversation with her? Tell her I don't want to hear her voice again unless I ask her a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What she said.
I agree.
This is an unsigned agreement. It's absolutely of no value to me. When did you prepare that?
A lot of my clients don't physically sign the
I
contract.
don't give a rat's behind what a lot of your clients don't do. An unsigned contract is not a contract.
There's a clause in my contract that says payment of the fee binds the contract. It's on the third page. I had the contract for
Each other. By your statement, you prepare a contract.
Yes.
Neither you sign it nor the client signs it. But in the contract, it lists the amount of your service and a statement that payment of any part of this amount constitutes an acknowledgement of this contract. That's what it says. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking about her. The client said, I never saw that. I paid her. I thought that that's what the fee was. He said, oh, no, we have a contract. And my contract says payment of any part of this fee is an acknowledgement that you owe me twice as much. We're not talking about her. We're talking about anybody. Did a lawyer tell you that that was valid?
Yes, I had a lawyer write that contract.
No, you may have had a lawyer write that contract. A lawyer told you that that was valid?
Yes.
I'm just shocked. No, your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You have zero, nothing, a stupid counterclaim, which I'm not entertaining for harassment.
Well, no, you should listen to it. I should have fair here, Judge Judy. That's not right.
gosh.
The lady's a crook.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had to stop an auction with under 24 hours.
The lady's a liar. She's not a real estate broker.
I stopped an auction and I got her house.
She's not.
She would have lost her home.
She didn't even know the terminologies.
She said she would pay me 17 times.
She's a counselor for reverse mortgages.
Then she said she wasn't going to pay me and started accusing me of all sorts of things.
I would never deal with a liar again.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Braswell versus Scroggins, step forward.
Pamela Braswell is suing Thelma Lee Scroggins for helping an online scammer steal money from her.
Ms. Braswell, this is the case as I see it unfold. You answered an ad for an apartment. It was an apartment that was in the same city that you were living?
Yes.
And did you look at the apartment before you sent the deposit in?
The outside of the apartment,
Just the outside? Mm-hmm. And you wired a deposit in, according to what I read in your complaint?
Yes.
To the defendant's bank account?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone show you the apartment before you wired the money?
No.
So from the ad, you wired the money. Now, do you have proof that you wired that money?
Yes, Your Honor. I have the wire transfer information.
May I see it, please? What was the rent on the apartment?
$1,050.
When you communicated with the person on Craigslist, was the person on Craigslist
Did 3 months in advance, which was the duration of the lease.
$3,150?
Yes.
Which is what you wired?
Yes.
And the property agent alleged his name was James Charles.
Yes.
But the reference number, which Ms. Scroggins doesn't deny, is her banking information. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, when you went to get the keys for the apartment, you were told that the prior tenant was not moving out.
Right.
And you were told you'll get your money back.
Yes.
And you never got your money back.
Correct.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Nobody gives a stranger in Nigeria their banking information unless they're a fool. Does it sound like you're losing? If it doesn't sound like you're losing, put the paper down.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Pamela Braswell says Thelma Lee Scroggins abetted an online scammer who stole money from her.
Now, was it this person, James, that met you at the apartment?
He did not meet me. He called an hour before the appointment and canceled.
But it was indicated that you would get your money back because the prior tenant was not moving out.
Yes, he said on the phone and in emails.
I see the emails, please. Yes, your payment is safe. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now, very easy. You didn't get your money, you didn't get an apartment.
Right.
And the money went into your bank account.
Yes, ma'am.
But then your bank account was, according to you, closed.
Yes, ma'am, and I have proof of it.
Yeah, great. But this is your defense. Your defense is that you met a guy online.
Yes, ma'am.
That you were communicating with.
Yes, ma'am.
And that the person who you met online that you were communicating with, for some reason, asked you your banking tracking information because why?
Because we were going to be friends and he was going to help me when he came back to the States.
He was out of the country.
Yes, he was in Nigeria.
And you were communicating with him via email to Nigeria. That's what you're telling me.
No, Texas.
Texting. And he was going to help you how?
Financially, and we were going to just be friends and talk and help each other out.
Either you're full of baloney or you're a fool.
I'm a fool.
Then she's not a fool. You're a fool.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to pay her money.
I don't owe her that money.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
No, that's why you're here.
I can prove it.
No, listen to me. That's why you're here. I don't care whether you got the money or not. You don't understand. $1,150 or not.
He's a scammer. I got scammed.
Just a second.
Just as well as she did.
I said to you, either you got the money or you got scammed. But if you got scammed because you're a fool.
Right.
Nobody gives a stranger in Nigeria their banking information unless they're a fool. And because you were a fool, if that's what you want me to believe, that you're a fool, she suffered. As between the two of you, now, one way or another, does it sound like you're losing? Does it sound like you're losing? If it doesn't sound like you're losing, put the paper down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
As between the two of you, an innocent person and a fool who caused her to lose money, because if I believe you, you were a fool to give a stranger your banking information. You can shake your head until it falls off. I'm telling you, either you're a fraudster or a fool. Either way, she gets her money from you. Because if you want me to believe that you're just a fool, that you didn't know who was out of the country to have your banking information, so that person was in a position to scam innocent people like the plaintiff. So either you're a scammer or a fool. Either way, she gets $3,150. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Hey,
we're done.
I didn't even get to say my case.
We are done.
I got scammed just as well he did.
Listen. Now
but I got scammed just
I
as
don't
well.
care. You're a fool. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The lease I was given had her name on it as an attorney.
People need to watch what they do on the internet.
And the lease required me to wire transfer the money in advance directly into her account.
Because they turned around and scammed her.
After which I would receive the keys and move in.
By doing something I don't even know what happened.
3 months I spent investigating and trying to track down these scammers.
I got scammed just as well as she did.
So I don't know. I mean, I did everything you would normally do, and it happened anyway.
The defendants caused a substantial amount of damage to your home.
They vanished into thin air.
They disappeared. They didn't leave any forwarding address.
But turned up thick with excuses.
We had the carpets cleaned before we left.
You should have done a walkthrough.
I have proof that he refused to do it.
So either you are smart-looking people who are really stupid, or your story is full of baloney.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek is suing her former tenants, Raymond and Miranda Rowland, for causing severe damage to her rental home.
Order. All rise. It's case number 30 on the calendar in the matter of Meek versus Rowland.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Meek, the defendants were tenants of yours. They
Yes,
had a
ma'am.
one-year lease.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you had some difficulty with each other during the term of the lease. They finally ended their lease a month early, and you had an attorney who tried to make an appointment for a walkthrough, a final walkthrough, which then caused a substantial amount of damage to your home.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, in excess of this court's maximum. The Rowlands claimed that they did not cause any damage to your home. On what date did you move out?
January 31st.
January 31st, 2019.
No, 2018.
2018?
Correct,
Yes.
Your Honor.
It's been over a year.
I would like to see photographs of the house when they moved in, and I assume you moved in on or about January or February of 2017.
March of 2017.
Do you have photographs of the house when you moved in?
We do not, Your Honor, because...
You do not?
Correct.
Okay, because you didn't. Do you have photographs of the house in
Yes, Your Honor.
March of 2017?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to look at them. Thank you. These pictures are date stamped March 18th, 2017. Why don't you take a look at them? Pictures are date stamped March 18th. Is that when you moved in?
Yes.
Yes.
Carpets and floors looked like at the time that you moved in.
It's hard to see some of the details of things that were there.
I see.
You can see lots of stains on the carpet.
I see the carpets. The house is in reasonable order. March 18th, 2017. Now I would like to see the same pictures on the day they moved out on January 31st, 2018. Well, these aren't date stamped.
No, Your Honor, because I took them with my phone, but they don't have a date.
Well, they're not responsible for this.
For what, Your Honor?
They're not responsible for this.
They had 2 dogs, Your Honor. The deck was perfectly clean, and I had it painted before.
Your Honor.
I don't want you to speak.
Okay.
I didn't ask you anything.
I had the deck painted before they moved in, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Just a second. I can't see that the deck was painted.
It was not painted before, Your Honor.
I can't tell that this deck was painted. It's blue.
It was blue.
Just a second. Well, I see that it's blue, but it doesn't look freshly painted blue.
It wasn't, Your Honor.
Actually, it doesn't look freshly.
Not
I can't see. It's too far away. I can't see.
But it had paint on it.
Listen to me. There's a difference between having paint on it and being freshly painted. It doesn't look freshly painted to me, even in your before pictures. I'd like you to tell me what this square is that's out of the carpet. Do you know?
Our dog locked himself into our daughter's room, and he tore the carpet next to the door trying to get out.
Okay, then you have to replace the carpet.
And that's what the pet fee would be covered.
No. You have a $500 pet deposit.
Pet deposit. That's what that
Your Honor,
converts.
it wasn't a deposit.
I don't speak.
Sorry.
That doesn't cover putting in all new carpet.
It was a 12 by 12 room, Your Honor.
It doesn't cover putting in a whole new room of carpet.
It does, Your Honor. I'm a residential contractor. I build houses, kitchens and baths, remodels, and everything else. For a 12 by 12 room, that carpet was absolutely replaceable with $500 or less.
Show me the bill to replace that carpet.
Yes, Your Honor.
They're going to pay that bill.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did they use their last month's rent as security deposit, or when was the last time they paid rent?
December.
Is that correct?
It is correct, and when she hired
So you lived there until January 31st, and you did not pay January's rent?
Correct. Based on the contract that we signed, we had that at liberty.
What?
It was in the contract that we signed that we could use that deposit for final rent.
So,
she hired it.
Just a second.
Okay.
And that's what you did?
That's what we did.
Great. Then you make it your business to do a walkthrough.
I would have done a walkthrough after we moved out.
Listen to me.
And she did.
Replace the carpet. Because you say, I could do it for less money doesn't mean she has to do it for less money. So all I want to tell you is you're going to be responsible for whatever it is that she did to replace the carpet.
And I have no problem with that coming out of the $500 pet deposit.
Great. So far, we have $700. Now...
I'm not following why we have $700 at this point.
Because she bought the remnant, and then she had the carpets cleaned.
We had the carpets cleaned before we left.
You should have done a walkthrough.
I have a receipt showing that we had the carpets cleaned.
I do, too.
Carpets cleaned, they've done,
We tried
didn't
to
come
do the
out.
walkthrough and no one would schedule.
Just a second. Is that right? That's not what you say in your answer. What you said, she's not getting $5,000 to remodel her house. Understand that. I haven't even gotten to the point with her why she waited a year.
Your Honor, she hired an attorney. I went back and forth with her attorney. We came into an agreement that I would have the keys under a rock and we would be done. The contract says, which I have here and highlighted, that she had 21 days in order to tell us if there was anything amiss with us in the home. After 21 days, on her contract, she didn't tell us. We had pictures, emails, all this kind of stuff for a year. We got rid of it because we didn't want, why should we keep it over a year? It's been a year and a half later.
Let me tell you what you signed, swore to in your answer.
Okay.
Walk through, but refused to compromise on the time and date, so we couldn't make it. Do you want to see that?
No, that was the case. I agree.
Well, that's not what you just said to me.
Sorry.
Just a second.
Sure.
That's not what you just said to me. You couldn't compromise on a date, so we didn't make it. You should have made it.
She would not do a date after the 31st of January when we had fully moved out. I was like, until we're moved out, there's no reason to do a walkthrough yet. I had until the 31st to move out. So I was like, anywhere in February, let's do a walkthrough. And then her attorney and I came up with an agreement to leave the keys and be done without a walkthrough.
Okay.
So we're done.
I have proof that he refused to do it. It's right
May
here,
I see?
Your Honor. And I was there the next day. He refused to be any time later.
Okay. Now, I've read the email from you. Now I would like to see the video and the photographs that you took that are date stamped January 31st. Joe, just a second.
Okay.
That's what you wrote to her. That's what you wrote to her. Don't come to the house January 31st. We are taking pictures and videos, and we will send them to you. We never want to see you again. We will not. That's what you wrote to her.
After
want to see those and the photographs that you took on January 31st.
We got rid of them after a year of holding on to them and not hearing from her. It's been
just a second. Just a second.
So we deleted them.
Just a second. Fair enough.
She had 21 days on the contract.
Don't play with me, sir. Now you're going to tell me what took you a year, because he says, I held on to the video and the photographs for a year. Not that I believe him, but a year is a long time for you to give him notice, he and his wife, that there was substantial damage when you went into the house in February. They moved out January 31st. Now you're going to tell me what took you a year.
First of all, they disappeared. They didn't leave any forwarding address. They didn't want to hear or receive anything from me.
Just a second. They didn't leave a forwarding address. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
With you?
With me.
Did you leave a forwarding address with her attorney? That's a very easy thing for me to find out. That's either a yes or a no.
I don't recall.
So that would be a no. Did you have proof, or do you have any proof that you left her a forwarding address where you were going to be? That's either a yes or a no.
It's a no, but she had email
That's a no.
and to us.
That's not true.
How's it not true?
That's
The U.S.
not...
government, just right now, I just bought a house. Guess what? I changed the address.
Just a second.
And somebody mails me, and it comes to my house this moment.
Listen to me, sir. That's assuming that you left a forwarding address with the post office.
Shh.
All I want to know is, after you moved out, do you have any proof that you gave her a forwarding address? The answer is no.
No, you're right. You're correct.
So you didn't have a forwarding address.
No, Your Honor.
What efforts did you make to find them?
Well, may I address the length that happened, why it took me so long to get to this point?
The first thing that you said was I didn't have their forwarding address. My question is, what efforts did you make to find them?
I hired a skip tracer
Skip Tracer.
A company that finds people. I had to pay for that.
What was the name of the company? Do you remember?
I have it in my phone.
Would you get it for me, please?
Sure.
You have the
I
same
have it
phone
here.
numbers and emails.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Her attorney had my email. Her attorney had my phone number. A Skip Tracer? Are you seriously? My phone number hasn't changed for 20 years.
He said not to address him from my lawyer or me ever again.
Please do not come to my home. We are hoping to have the carpets cleaned. I also do not ever want to see you again nor discuss any of this with you. So inside and outside of the premises on January 31st, once we've completed the move out. I will not be addressing the below email here since this is not a factual discussion, let alone that it arguably is an attempt at blackmail.
He's referring to this
I
one.
hold to my previous emails. Going forward, I will not accept any emails from you. That's what you say to her.
Absolutely.
Just a second. That's what you say to her.
This is true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me, sir. I read your email. You said in lieu of a walkthrough, I'm going to take videos and pictures.
Which we did.
That you said.
And I kept for over a year.
Just a second. I don't know that you did because I don't see them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek says former tenants Raymond and Miranda Rowland caused extensive damage to her rental home.
Now,
If she had a case, her attorney would go.
just a second. Don't tell me what I'm reading what you told her.
I understand.
You said
She's an unenjoyable person to deal with.
Listen to
I had
me.
no problem. I didn't tell that to her attorney. Her
Listen to
attorney
me.
and I had
I don't know.
dialogue.
I don't know whether you did or not. He's not here as a witness to testify.
There's a
and
reason for that.
You cannot tell me that you had discussions with her attorney. From her, why it took a year. She said that she hired a Skip Tracer.
Judge Judy, have you seen the contract that says 21 days? That she has 21 days. Have you seen that yet?
Listen to me, sir. I read your email. You didn't want to be contacted by her again, and you said, in lieu of a walkthrough, I'm going to take videos and pictures.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Which we
That's what
did.
you said.
Which we did.
That you said.
And I kept for over a year.
Just a second. I don't know that you did because I don't see them.
And she didn't contact us over 21 days. And a year and a half later,
Did you understand what I'm saying to you?
Correct. I do. Thank you.
The name of the company is We Serve Legal.
May I see it?
Yes. Premium Process. Sorry.
That's cute.
You couldn't just say.
I have a business.
Well, you found them in 2019. I want to know when you hired them.
I hired
found them
in March of this year, Your Honor, because if I could tell you what happened during 2018.
Go ahead.
First of all, it took me a while.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I don't want you to tell me that in the year you had personal problems.
I did.
Well, that's irrelevant as to the defendants.
I had surgery.
It's irrelevant as to the defendants. The fact that you had personal issues is irrelevant. There is no valid reason in court, because you did, in fact, had hired counsel. Now, you may have discharged that counsel because the case was over and they moved out January 31st, but you did have, at some point, a lawyer. So the question is, for me, you have a lease. Your lease provides that within 21 days of their moving out, you have to notify them that there is any problem with the premises. There was clearly a problem. There's no question that there were problems with the premises. And there was no question, actually, that the damages that they caused to the premises exceeded their $500 pet deposit because they had already used their security for the last month's rent. So you didn't have security.
Right.
All of that is true. But you had 21 days in which to notify them. Now, if you sent them a registered letter or a letter to their last known address, which was yours, either they had forwarding or not. You don't know that because you didn't send them a letter.
He said he would ignore everything that I sent, Your Honor.
If you read your lease,
I had it prepared.
If you read your lease, I don't have to read it. Mr. Rowland?
The lease doesn't say that, Your Honor.
The lease doesn't say you have to notify them within 21 days of their moving? May I see the lease, please? So you had to give him notice within 21 days to his last known address, which you did not do, or personally, and you didn't do it.
My lawyer mentioned that...
You can't tell me what your lawyer said to you. That's hearsay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You and your wife don't look like two stupid people. And if the two of you were dumb enough to move into a house that you describe as being in total disrepair, I may have been wrong. Maybe you are stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sylvia Meek is accusing her former tenants, Raymond and Miranda Rowland, of causing extensive damage to her rental home.
Okay, it's now a year later. Has your house been rented?
I'm sorry.
Has your house been
The house
rented?
was rented in May of 2018.
The house was rented in May of 2018.
It took that long for my contractor to finish all the repairs, Your Honor. Okay. 5 months that I missed rent because of the damages.
What I'm telling you is, I assume that you had issues within that year that were either personal issues or health issues.
Grave
That does not.
issues.
And I'm sympathetic with you because I think that they caused a $500 pet deposit.
That's not true.
I believe that they did.
No, that's not true.
Oh, no, I absolutely believe that you caused more damage to the house than the $500 pet deposit. I believe.
The house that was falling apart when we got there? Oh,
Yeah,
my gosh.
just
Really?
as-
The roof
I didn't.
leaked.
Listen to me.
The cook
Listen to me.
stove didn't
Listen to
work.
me
She handed me
carefully.
a lighter. Here, light it, because she's too cheap to replace it.
Do you understand that that it's like the name of this show is not the Judge Rollins show? The name of the show has my name
everybody
on it.
loves Raymond.
So that when I'm speaking, they cut off your mic.
Oh, man.
They cut off your mic.
That's smart.
You and your wife don't look like two stupid people.
We're not, no.
And you're pretty well dressed. You're wearing expensive sneakers. You're wearing nice-looking shoes. And if the two of you were dumb enough to move into a house that was in total disrepair... I'm speaking. If the two of you were dumb enough to move into a house that you describe as being in total disrepair, then you give a totally different impression of seeing the two of you. You two look like two reasonable, working citizens. Put your hand down. So I may have been wrong. Maybe you are stupid, because only stupid people live with their children and dogs, or dogs in a dilapidated piece of property. Only stupid people do that. So either you are smart-looking people who are really stupid but give the wrong impression, or your story is full of baloney.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, I think that you did more damage to the plaintiff's house than the $500 security deposit. Unfortunately, this is not a combination of Dr. Phil and a court. So I can't give her any judicial relief for the fact that she may have been incapacitated for a period of time during the course of the past year. Your lease is specific, and she is contractually obligated to make an attempt to give you notice within 21 days of your termination of the lease or your vacating the property of the specifics laid out, specifically what she is alleging. She failed to do that, and therefore her case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
If anything I sent...
If there was damage, as she's alleged, she would have had her attorney contact me.
They said they were Christian. Christian people don't do that.
We are Christians, and the reason why this case is successful is because the truth came out.
Christian people don't destroy people's homes.
She didn't follow her own lease agreement.
They just got away with it.
There is no case, and there never was.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am. Yes, I did. She's lying.
A web designer and client weren't clicking.
It was not published on the internet, period, in discussion. Yes, it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out.
And it's not her first reboot.
Did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Real estate broker Constance Kelly is suing graphic designer Eleanor Phillips for a refund for a business website.
Order. All rise. It's case number 102 on the calendar. The man has been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Kelly, you hired the defendant to do a website for you. You are a real estate broker. When did you get your license?
I was licensed in 2016.
And did you work for someone else?
I was at another brokerage, yes, before I got my own broker's license and launched my own company.
Which was when?
I launched my brokerage in August of 2018.
And what's the name of that company?
CKRE Idaho.
Bert, do you have an iPad or some device there?
Yeah.
What's the website?
It's CKREIdaho.com.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to look at it. Okay, and when did this website go up?
That website went up about a month ago.
Prior to that, did you have a website? That's a yes or no?
No.
When did you hire the defendant to build a website for you?
The beginning of January.
Of 2019. How much was she charging you to build that website?
$3,600.
And you gave her a deposit?
Yes, ma'am.
Of $1,800?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's what you want back?
Correct.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am.
Did you build a website for her?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me what you did?
Yes, I can. These were all the pages before the website was taken down. There is some content that is not exactly finished in there because it was not completed.
Would you take a look and tell me if this is a fair and accurate representation of the work that the defendant did and that was up?
So, Your Honor, these are what we call mock-ups. This was never published to my website.
That is wrong.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me that those were never on the internet?
No, ma'am.
That those pages you never used?
Correct.
Okay.
She's lying.
Where did you get those from?
The internet.
When?
I believe that was the day that our dispute happened, which was February 7th.
Now, the dispute occurred because the website was not built so that it could accommodate MLS listings?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Do you have MLS capability now?
I haven't.
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
And the website is up because he just found it.
It's a placeholder while the new website is being developed.
And you do understand that there is now a fee for using MLS services?
No, not for me. Because I'm not a vendor. I don't provide that as a web developer.
Is what you're telling, because this is all about the MLS and whether or not you get your deposit back. So far, she did work. I see she did work, and I don't believe you that it wasn't up on the internet, by the way. I don't believe that.
Judge Judy.
Yes, it was, and I even have an email where I sent her her username and password so she could view.
May I see it?
Yes. It's right here. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly.
She just said the key words, Your Honor. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly. It was not published on the internet, period.
Yes, it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out because I don't have to listen to this. I'm reading something.
Your Honor, this is a red herring. I have a voicemail from Miss Phillips over here saying that she has no problem refunding me my money.
Just a second. I'm reading something. Did you have somebody developing a website for you prior to the defendant?
I had another local...
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
Well, that's not what it says here.
I'm not clear on your question, Your Honor.
My question is very clear. I speak English. I said, did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right. So the answer is yes. How many?
I would say that I've had 4 websites in the last 4 years. As my company, my business has grown and expanded, the demands of my website have also grown and expanded.
No, that's not what this says. Okay, now you say you have a voice message from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Where she says she is going, but she's opposing in this proceeding. She said she did a lot of work on the website, and she put in hours worth of work.
She didn't. She put up a simple template.
I'm speaking. She said she put in work on your website, and she deserves to be compensated for that. If you went someplace else, that's up to you. So now I'd like to hear the voicemail.
How to respond to that? If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am.
If you can tell that I'm taking a breath because she clipped that voicemail, she's not playing the full voicemail in context.
I can play the full voicemail if you'd like, Your Honor.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to clip audio.
You obviously just did.
Just if you talk to each other, I'm just going to throw you both out.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your...
No, Your Honor, this is 2.5 minutes. Do you want to listen to the full entirety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your email, and I'm a little disappointed, but I just want to get some clarification. First of all, I've spent over 22 hours site complete and ready to go. I just want to express that to you because I have put a lot of time into the site to where it is now. And that does not include phone calls and getting you set up on GoDaddy and making sure that all of that is set up on your end. So I guess my disappointment at this point runs with that you want to pay me $350 for over 22 hours of work. And I'm not really sure how to respond to that. If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in significant...
No. Because I have.
I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in a significant amount of time. I just told you that I can get that up and going and eat the rest of any other costs that I would have charged in order to get the IDX up and running. I never told you that I had IDX capabilities. I was depending on you for that. It was my assumption that as a realtor, you had access to the MLS. I have mentioned it a couple times that the only requirement that I needed in order to get the MLS working on your website was a username and password. And we both found out at the same time that you're not willing to pay $150 a quarter for that password access. And if you want me to sign up as a vendor and I'll pay $150 a quarter, I will agree to that, but I'm only going to agree to it for 1 year. So I think that's where we're landing, is that I really have put a lot of time into this. So if you could please give me a call back so we can at least talk this out, I would really appreciate it. You can record the phone calls. That is totally fine with me. But I need you to understand that I have put a whole...
That's it, Your Honor.
She was being most reasonable with you, Ms. Kelly.
I understand.
She was being most reasonable with you. She said, I will keep the deposit. You don't have to pay me anything else. I will get your website up and running. Fee for MLS of $150 a quarter. I will pay that for the first year, which means she was willing to pay $600 in order to, that's what she says in there. I mean, you were giving me that one clip where it says, I will give you back your money.
I was trying not to waste your time, Your Honor.
Your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was a very fair and just decision. I was willing to just bend over backward for her, and she just didn't care. You should absolutely get paid, and you should fight when you need to.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Knutson versus Beckwith, step forward.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knutson is suing her former employee, Julie Beckwith, for soliciting clients away from her cleaning company in Hawaii.
This is a contract case. Ms. Knutson, you hired the defendant as an employee with your home cleaning service.
Yes.
What month did you hire her?
That was July of 2018.
And she worked for you until when?
Till April 30th, 2019.
And where was that business?
In Honolulu, Hawaii.
And where did you live?
I lived in Utah at the time.
Had you lived in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years.
So you were running your business long distance?
Yes.
How many employees did you have?
It fluctuated anywhere from 1 to 3.
Did you do home cleaning when you...
Yes.
So those clients that you had, you turned over to some people first. They didn't work out, and then you hired the defendant to do the same work that you were doing.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you had a contract with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
So what you have is a contract with her that has a non-interference clause with your business. And it reads, the client list, client information, and client contact information are the property of 808 Cleaning, that's your company, and the employee may not use, service, or solicit said clients outside of the administration of 808 Cleaning. The employee and the employer agree not to publicly defame the other party in the event of termination. Okay, so what happened was she worked for you for about 8 months, and then went out on her own, and I don't know how many, but many of the clients that she was servicing followed her to her new place.
Right.
And so you're suing her for breach of contract.
Yes, but also, I mean, she was very dishonest.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many of her clients came with you?
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, you really have to understand, it's not as if you were the CEO of a large company. You had a personal business. You were moving, and what you did was you hired somebody else to clean, and you took a cut of whatever they... Half, whatever it is. You took half, and in exchange for that, you got the clients, and you got half. That's what the deal was. And the question is, how many of your clients stayed with you?
About 19 or 20. The total of everything she took added up to about $17,000 a year that she took from my business.
You see, you have a contract, but an unsympathetic position.
She was still working for me when she was telling them about her new business.
Well, you don't know that. You don't have a witness here to tell you.
I do know that. I have text messages.
Oh, I'd like... She was still working for you. She was soliciting these clients to come to work for her. Your case is rock solid.
I have a witness also.
Great. You may have, but how many of her clients came with you? A number.
A few.
Not a number.
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Right.
You understand you're in an unsympathetic position for me. Now show me proof that she was soliciting the 3 clients she took from you while she was working for you. She's not allowed to do that. And that's not what she said she did.
She admitted that she did it, Your Honor.
You said you had text messages. I'd like to see it.
Got a little scrambled. This is the one from actually the client here, Adrian.
I'd like to see it. When did you terminate your business? April 30th?
I gave her a 2-week notice on April 16th, and
4/16.
my last day was the April 30th.
It's dated May 1st.
Yes.
After she left your employment.
However, if you...
I'm going to read it. It's dated May 1st, after she left your employment.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay. This is a very easy... She says, hello, Heidi. I assume that's your first name. She said, I sent this to you on Monday. This is Wednesday. I understand that, Julie, so 2 days before she... And we will be getting a new person with your company. So she told them clearly that she was leaving and a new person would be coming from your company. That's not unreasonable. So far she didn't break anything. She said, goodbye, I will not be coming back. You'll be getting a new person from the company. I'd really like to stay with Julie, as she has come to know our home, a dog, and us so well. I hope you understand, and thank you for introducing us. Please accept this as my notification that we'll be ending services with your company effective this week. Again, thank you for supporting our housekeeping needs, and I wish you much success in the future. That's you.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
It shows that she was telling everybody about her new cleaning business prior to when she was
No. That's not what this says at all.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Judy.
Okay, I still haven't heard that she breached the contract.
She's servicing the clients that were on my
That's
client
okay.
list.
She can service them. She's not allowed to solicit them. It's a free country. They can say, I don't want you to be my cleaning service anymore. I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it? Are you licensed and bonded?
I am.
Okay. You are Adrian.
Yes.
Last name?
Stofko.
You live in Hawaii?
Correct.
How long had the plaintiff been servicing your home?
I would say it's been at least a year, if not more.
Was the plaintiff the person who came?
No. There's maybe 2 to 3 different people before Julie began cleaning.
And I would like you to tell me the conversation you had with her in April. Must have been in April, sometime in April.
I travel for work quite frequently, so it's often that I need to coordinate the time that someone will be coming to the home. And in case I'm not there, my husband would need to let them in. And so I had asked her what time next week would she be coming, and she let me know at that point she would not be coming anymore because she put in her 2 weeks' notice.
And what did you say to her?
I asked her, are you moving off the island? Where are you going? And she responded and let me know. I asked her if she would be willing to continue cleaning for us because, again, we really had grown to trust her. I leave the house sometimes when she's cleaning. And because we had kind of a several different folks and we finally had someone consistent that we trusted, I asked her if she'd be willing to continue servicing our home with her new business.
Okay, well, that is somewhat different, actually, than what you wrote in this text. That's a solicitation. That's not saying you will be getting someone from the company to come and service you. And of course, you can have a conversation with her. You can say, can I have your contact information? You probably already had her contact information, so you were free to call her. But what you just testified to is that she said to you, I'm leaving, I'm starting my own company, and that you're not allowed to do, Ms. Beckwith.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
How many clients do you have? 3 that you took from her? How many clients do you have altogether now?
I have about 7.
Okay. How much do you pay her?
I pay her once a week. It's $130, and depending upon if there's extras, it can go up to $170 a week.
And a reasonable period of time for a not in here is a year. And in a year, you pay her at least $5,000 if you're paying her $130 a week.
Correct.
Sometimes more. Well, my limit is $5,000, and that's what you're entitled to. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
What about my countersuit?
For?
Overtime hours. She hired me as an employee.
Goodbye.
And paid me as a contractor.
Please excuse me, step up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I didn't steal her clients. Her clients decided to not continue with her and to go with me.
I couldn't be happier.
So I didn't ask them to follow me. They said that they wanted to do that.
She knew she was being dishonest.
Ready to be done, move on.
I thought it was going the other way, and I'm stoked.
Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
2 boys caught in a fib.
Whatever it is, it's not a big deal that it happened. It's just a big deal if you lie about it.
But who will fess up first?
His grandma said, you better tell the truth.
He threw the rock.
Well, he said he didn't.
I'm just telling you he did.
You seen him throw it?
I don't have to see him throw it. That's my job. That's what I do for 50 years.
Judge Judy.
You are a button. This is Judge Judy.
Susan Corso is suing her neighbor, Keena Payton, for damage caused to her vehicle when her son threw a rock at it.
Order. All rise. It's case number 69 on the calendar, the matter of Corso versus Payton.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Everybody have a seat.
Ms. Corso, it is your claim that the defendant's little boy, that's this little boy over here, damaged your car by throwing a rock.
Yes.
And you didn't see that?
No, I did not.
So I assume that the little boy who's sitting here, who also lives in your neighborhood.
Next door.
He came and told you that it had happened.
Actually, no one came and told me. I heard it, but my husband was ill, so I didn't go out. But I did go.
I don't care.
I did go 2 days later, and we talked to Jake.
I don't need a whole story. Here, you didn't see anything happen to your car.
No.
There was a dent or something in your car.
Yes.
Did you notice it the same day?
No, I did not.
When you noticed something, it was at that time that you spoke to this young man.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this young man, and I will get to him, the defendant's son threw a rock that hit your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then he tried to fix it.
Yes.
And he tried to fix it to make it better.
Yes.
And maybe it made it better, and maybe it didn't make it better. Mrs. Payton says her son never threw a rock at your car. The incident happened on what, well, why don't you step up here? You're Jake?
Yes.
You live next door?
Yes.
On what date did you allegedly see Mrs. Payton's son throw a rock at Miss Corso's car?
Sunday.
It was on a Sunday?
Yes.
And did you look?
It was a Thursday.
Thursday.
I don't want you to say anything to him. You're not the witness. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's my job to test his memory.
Okay.
You don't have to help him. It was on what time?
I don't remember.
Do you remember what month it was in?
No.
Do you remember what time of the day it was?
No.
Was it in the morning? Was it in the evening? Was it daytime or was it nighttime?
It was in the middle between daytime and nighttime.
What's that?
Evening.
How old are you?
12.
Well, a 12-year-old knows time. You know whether it's dark out or light out or dusk, where it's in between, where it's almost dark. What time was it?
Evening.
Where were you?
We were all in front of my yard.
Who was in front of your yard?
Me, Kyle.
Have been playing for how long?
Not much.
What were you playing?
We weren't playing anything.
Why don't you tell me what you saw?
So this is what I saw. The girl.
Don't look over there. Look here.
The girl wrote Kyle's girlfriend on the rock.
Over here.
So on the rock, it said Kyle plus Madison, which I supposedly was his girlfriend. And he got mad, picked up the rock and threw it and hit her car in the rear.
He got mad because he wasn't the boyfriend?
I have no clue why he got mad.
Okay. And who wrote on the rock?
This girl, Jordan.
And was the rock that she wrote with the rock that he picked up, or was it a different rock?
It's the rock that she wrote with.
What did you say to him?
I didn't say anything to him.
Now, he threw the rock, and what happened when he threw the rock? Did you hear something, or did you see something?
It was a loud, I heard and saw, it was a loud bang, and there's like a big dent in the back.
In the back where?
Near the rear.
So what did you do?
We all ran.
Why did you run?
Because it made a loud bang.
Well, if it made a loud bang and you all ran, but you first stopped to look at the car.
We ran first, and then we came back to look at the car.
So first you ran?
Yeah.
And where did you run to?
Jordan's house.
And when did you come back?
5 or 10 minutes later. I came back by myself.
And when you came back by yourself, is that when you looked at the car?
Yes.
And so, now, you didn't do anything.
Yes.
You ran away.
Yes.
Then you came back.
Yes.
You looked at the car.
Yes.
You saw a dent.
Yes.
And when you went inside to your house?
Yeah, I had to go inside.
Because?
Because my uncle saw the big dent in the back, so he called me in to go inside.
Do you live with your uncle?
No, he's visiting.
Who else was in the house?
Just my uncle.
Did you tell your uncle what happened?
Yes.
Right away?
Yes.
The same day?
Yeah.
Who else lives in the house with you?
My grandma and my brother and my sister.
Was your grandma out?
Yeah, she was at work.
When she came home, did you tell her what happened?
Yes.
Did you tell her?
Yes.
The same day?
Yes.
And you live right next door?
Yes.
How many days later did you find out about this?
2 days.
2 days. And how did you find out about it 2 days later?
I was going out to take my husband back to the doctor.
You were going out?
I went out and to get in the driver's side and looked back and saw the big dent.
And then what did you do?
We went next door and asked Jake.
Just a second. Then you went next door. Was he inside his house or outside of his house?
He was inside.
So you knocked at the door?
Yes.
And who came to the door?
Jake and his grandmother.
And
Jake, I said, we just found a big dent in our car. Do you know how it happened? And his grandma said, you better tell the truth. And his
grandmother said,
you better tell the truth.
And?
So Jake said...
He told you this story?
He came on and told us that story.
He told you this story. Did his grandmother say she already knew?
No, she didn't. She didn't say one way or the other, no.
Well, but According to Jake, she already knew.
Later on.
According to Jake, she already knew.
She did.
She knew 2 days in advance. So she knew 2 days in advance because, according to Jake, he had told her, why wouldn't she come over and tell you?
She explained that she knew we would be coming and knocking on her door any minute, and that as soon as we came knocking, he would tell us
that was
what happened.
honest. That was honest. Not. Go down. First name?
Kyle.
You remember that day?
Yes.
Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
Well, there were only 3 of you there. You're a pretty smart kid. And according to him, all 3 of you sort of ran away after it was thrown. So don't look down here. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal that it happened. It's just a big deal if you lie about it. Got it?
Yes.
Great. Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
Well, that I don't believe. How are you going to convince me that that's true? It's your job to convince me that that's true that you don't know, because I don't believe you. Okay. Go down. He threw the rock.
Well, he said he didn't.
I'm just telling you he did.
You seen him throw it?
I don't have to see him throw it. That's my job. That's what I do for 50 years.
Okay.
I just looked in his eyes, and I'm telling you he threw the rock. It's not a big deal. Okay. It's not a big deal. Kids do that all the time. The big deal is for him not to tell the truth about it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I don't necessarily believe him either.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Because I'm not so sure that what happened is he tried to fix it.
Right.
He touched it before he showed you. That's what he told you. Is that right?
Yes.
And I don't know whether his touching it made it better or made it worse. Who knows? Do you know?
I wasn't there, no.
By the way, stand up over there. What did you use to try to fix it?
My hand.
Tell me how you did that.
I put my hand into the car and tried to
Banged it?
No, I...
Sit down. Miss Corso, I don't necessarily believe either one of them, but I don't think you've sustained your burden of proof to me, which is even by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Payton is responsible for your car. You got a ding in your car?
Yes.
You got a ding in your car? It happens. But I'm not satisfied that I can feel comfortable making Miss Payton pay for it. I don't know how much of the dent was caused by a 12-year-old trying to fix it. 12-year-old trying to fix it, telling his grandmother the same day that it happened, and his grandmother didn't come to you, but her answer to you was, I knew you'd be knocking at my door. How long has she been your neighbor?
Oh, probably 20 years.
Not a good lesson. We're done. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, it was honest and fair.
My son said he didn't do it. I believe he didn't do it.
We tried to talk to him, but they wouldn't even give me their name, so.
It could have been settled, but because of the way she went about it, it was just overbearing.
Just be honest and take responsibility, and that's all we can hope for.
Kids will be kids.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vardakas versus Adams, step forward, please.
25-year-old construction worker Joshua Vardakas is suing his former employer, Wade Adams, for unpaid wages.
Mr. Vardakas, it is your claim that the defense owes you for some painting work that you did for him. It appears from your complaint that you had done work painting, house painting.
Correct.
For him before, at least twice before, and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
paid him, and it was satisfactory. This was the third job, and the third job was for also a 2-story structure. Is that correct?
It was a 2-story structure, but he was only entitled to...
It was a 2-story
Yes, ma'am.
structure. And when was he supposed to start the job?
April 3rd.
And did he report to work on April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he work for the day on April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was he supposed to be paid per day?
$300 total for the job.
And how many days were you supposed to work on the job, sir?
I worked a total of 2. Started April 1st and April 3rd.
You worked on this job on April 1st.
Correct.
For how many hours?
8 hours that day. It was a full day.
And then on the 3rd?
On the 3rd was a half day. I spent about 4 hours there.
I don't like abouts.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He asks you for some money. You don't say to him, I don't owe you any money. You say to him, she's making me wait for my money because I have to get some glass fixed. Why didn't you pay him any money?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Construction worker Joshua Vardakas says his former employer, Wade Adams,
didn't pay him for online defamation.
Now, what happened to the second?
April 2nd wasn't the day that I worked, no.
Were you supposed to work?
No, it was just April 3rd was the day that I came in. That's when I was available to be able to come in and finish the job.
That doesn't sound reasonable to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense. You usually start a job and you finish it.
I'm responsible for a lot of other projects that goes on around Northeast Ohio.
Mr. Vardakis, in the arrangement that you made with Mr. Adams, when were you supposed to start the job?
The 1st.
And when you were supposed to finish it?
Whenever it got done.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you went into work and that you only worked half a day? Did you finish the job?
No, I had to come back the 4th and finish.
Did you come
completely.
back the 4th?
Yes. That was the last 4 hours I spent there.
When you left the job on the 4th, was the job that you were hired to do completed?
Absolutely.
Do you have any proof that it was completed and that Mr. Adams knew it was completed? That he acknowledged that it was completed?
Not in the evidence, not directly, but I do have images. Me sending him the job. After a few days, we talked on the phone. Job was good. Everything was okay.
I'd like to see that.
I have the images of the job. This is me sending the photos of the job being done. This might be more than you really need.
Please don't give me.
That's some of the pictures out of all the pictures.
Is your
that
name
I sent
Steve?
No, ma'am. I'm Rusty.
Steve was not able to make it today, ma'am.
Well, I don't need Rusty if Steve wasn't here. Sit. Why didn't you pay him for his work?
It was not completed, ma'am.
How much did you pay him?
I didn't pay him nothing.
How much were you supposed to pay him?
$300.
You have photographs of what was not completed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. Now, that's what you were supposed to get, correct?
No, I was supposed to get $600. That's what the job paid.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Just 1 second. Did you paint both floors, upstairs and down?
Not the upstairs, the basement. I painted the basement and the first floor. I lost the copy of that photo of the basement, but I do have it in my phone.
I'd like to see it. When did you first, also, while you're looking for that, when did you first make a demand for your money?
I gave him till the day that he said that he was able to pay me. I questioned him on it, like, hey, you know, what's going on? I didn't hear.
Do you have that in text messages?
Oh, yes.
Let me take a look.
Okay, this is where he started making his excuses on
May
why.
I please see, and now get me the picture that you were looking for.
Oh, yes. Here it is. And if you left swipe twice.
Why didn't you pay him?
Because it was not done.
Just a second. To him on April 12th. You don't say to him on April 12th, you didn't finish the job. What you're saying on April 12th is, man, I assume the owner is making me wait, so I wish I had the money, but I'll get it to you, but I have to put windows in. That doesn't say you didn't finish the job.
I have a text message here I sent him, and he replied saying the basement door needed hit again, the trim needed, in the dining room needed hit, caulked around the top, and the basement re-hit again. That was on April 4th. So I had to hire somebody else to come and finish the job.
What I'm asking you is, on April 12th, he asks you for some money. You don't say to him, I don't owe you any money. You say to him, she's making me wait for my money because I have to get some glass fixed. I'll have to go through them on Monday. Okay, well, can I get paid something? I really need the money. That's on April 12th. Why didn't you pay him any money?
Because I don't pay none of the employees until the job's done, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The counterclaim is for defamation. What did he say about you that you think is law-worthy?
Saying I lie, I'm a thief.
You are a liar, a cheat, and a thief. You didn't pay him for his job. He's allowed to say that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy says his former employer, Wade Adams, didn't pay him for a painting job. Wade is countersuing for online defamation.
Now, what's the name of the person that you were doing this painting for?
Renee, but she works for Fame City. It's a real estate company.
So you were doing a job for the real estate company?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you charge them for the paint job in the house?
So the total job was $1,800.
What else did you do there?
We had to get it rent ready. We had to replace windows, replace some bathroom stuff, paint the upstairs, fix the front porch.
I'd like to see your invoice for that for $1,800, including painting.
Okay, he has
I'd
the
like
copy,
to see.
He has the picture of the invoice. Here's the rough estimate she signed.
I'd like to see that, Bert.
That's just labor. She buys the materials. Here's the invoice. This third job working with him started off on the bad foot, Your Honor. The first day with him and the other painter having a little scuffle.
I don't care. You have to pay him. You can't not pay the man.
I
you
agree.
can't not pay the man.
But it was not complete. I had to have somebody else come and finish it.
The somebody else is Steve, who's not here.
Great. He had ID issues.
Well, that's your problem. That isn't my problem. You have to pay him. And if you didn't pay him, you can have a legitimate dispute with him, which I'm more than prepared to look at if you have a dialogue in writing with him. You didn't complete the job, so paying you, whether it's $300 or $600, $300 seems like a pretty low wage if he worked there 3 days.
No.
Or you actually worked there 2 days.
A total, yeah,
You worked
16
a total
hours,
of 2
man
days.
hours.
My painters, I pay $150 a day, Your Honor. If he gets it done sooner, he still gets the $300. If not, 2 days, he'll still get the $300.
What was the other job that he did for you?
He painted in Worcester.
When?
Back in March.
How much were you paid for that job, sir?
That job, $250.
And what did that entail?
Painting a kitchen and a living room, just the walls.
I don't care.
Sorry.
If you got paid $250 in March, you're not getting paid $600 2 months later. Then I believe him that he pays his painters $150 a day. You had to pay him something. So it's inexcusable that you didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now,
we talked. I planned on. His wife was texting me, my wife. I was going to give him another chance. We have a bunch of other jobs. And I said, and he should have the text messages, so I'm trying to find mine.
I got it already.
I admitted I would pay him. The check, I said the check would be here between Wednesday and Friday. So we talked on the phone.
Then why didn't you just do that? Then you should have done that. And now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for defamation. Just read me what he said. Did he say that nobody should work for you because you don't pay your employees?
He was just saying all kinds of, he's called, got on our youth football page. I'm the director of youth football. Started bashing us on youth football. Yeah, for 8, 9, 10-year-olds.
I don't understand what you're saying.
8, 9, 10-year-olds have nothing to do with it. He's just bashing us.
You have to, listen to me. Look at me. I'm old. You have to speak slowly and clearly. What did he say about you that you think is law-worthy?
Saying I lie, I'm a thief, I'm a cheat.
Well, you were a liar, a cheat, and a thief. You didn't pay him for his job. He's allowed to say that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He didn't finish the job. I had to hire another painter to come and do it.
At least I got some money out of the deal.
Him and my 2 painters got in a pushing and scuffling match.
Never got physical. We got into it, and it wasn't even on the job that he was talking about.